What's better than gallivanting from beautiful place to beautiful place, or adventure to adventure? Regardless of what we do in life, we all look for adventure, excitement, and a feeling of, I do what I want. Depending on your age, you may be thinking how nice life as a digital nomad would be. Or maybe just want to create an awesome early retirement and not worry about money. We have spent the last 5 years building our digital nomad semi-retirement dream life. And it's amazing how much the world has changed. You no longer need to be chained to one location in order to make a living. Bom dia. Have you ever dreamed of traveling the world, moving abroad, but wonder how you would do it and whether such a big change is available to you? Then you have found the right channel. With people constantly looking for their next adventure, we want to show that there are many ways and you don't have to be a millionaire. Let's go. I am Alan. My wife Leslie, son Wolf, and I are from the Midwest in the United States. We now live on the beautiful island of Madeira, Portugal, on one of the greatest adventures of our lives. Subscribe to learn from our journey as you work to navigate your own. It'll be fun. Vicer Di Bertito.
2.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to move abroad. Now, in Portugal, the island of Madeira is my home. I'm glad to have this mountainous, good-weathered, ocean-surrounded island as a home base. Building a business and multiple income streams online while offering freedom that most people can only dream of, that's what people come here for. Yet, there is more to think about than just that. As offices become borderless, a growing number of countries are offering digital nomad visas to attract remote workers, living a life without a 9-to-5 commute, no cubicle, where work meets travel and adventure. Endless fun. As with everything, it has advantages and disadvantages. It'll be fun. Let's go over the normal path for a digital nomad, if being a digital nomad is normal at all. And what the definition of a digital nomad is, exactly. I think it varies. Being a digital nomad entails moving abroad and bringing your remote working job with you, or building an online business and bringing your salary with you. Either way, once you have your source of income dialed in, that's when the fun begins. You start out researching the countries you're able to and want to live in that offer a digital nomad visa you can use. And then you figure out how long you can remain in said country through the digital nomad visa. Usually it's 1 or 2 years, then off to the next countries. Or going past that, you could gallivant from country to country using travel visas, which means you're staying 1 to 3 months. Worth noting, some travel visas actually last up to a year. Either way, there's pros and cons with each visa method. Give us your thoughts in the comments below. Oh, and if you're interested in any digital nomad or early retirement stuff, go check out our website and our Patreon. It'll be fun. We have a new program that we're releasing on our websites that you should look into. I think you'd like it. Continuing with Route 1, the Digital Nomad Visa. Getting a Digital Nomad Visa usually takes time, and you generally have to apply from your home country before you go. And if you end up liking the country you're going to on your Digital Nomad Visa, well, and you want to make a permanent home there, you'll probably have to leave that country, go to your home country, apply for a different visa, and then return, because then you can get your residence there off of that. Not all the time, sometimes you could stay, but if you just even remotely think that you might settle down, you have to understand this. There's also usually a minimum amount of money you need to be bringing in, you need to be able to show. For example, in Portugal, you would need to prove a consistent salary or income of 4 times the minimum wage, which is just over 3,000 euros a month. And as with every visa, you will need to provide other documents such as criminal background checks, health insurance, proof of housing, those sorts of things. Don't forget to check to see if you are required to pay taxes in the country you're going to. Your visa may make you a tax resident, which might be a big part of what you wanted to avoid in the first place. So keep that in mind on this one. And what if you didn't want to stay in one country for a year? Well, That brings us to the second option, tourist visas. Many remote workers or digital nomads just travel from country to country using travel visas. That means you get to experience many different places, and you have shorter time frames, and you get to experience all sorts of cultures, which is what it's all about, right? But you will absolutely just be limited to a travel visa. It will be much harder to convert anything into a permanent visa in this way, but it would allow you to discover many places. This is great for a year or two, or if you just are absolutely dead certain that you aren't going to settle down anywhere but your original home. Either way, the journey is a destination, and I can't say that I disagree with that. For me, I have a home base, and I can travel from here all through Europe. I live in Portugal now. But it's not the way that most nomads think, and there are a lot of pros and a few cons with just doing travel visas. For some people, they just want to supplement income, create a semi-retirement, filled with travel and adventure. Something like this can be great for them. Otherwise, they may never, just leave their home back in the States. So what are the pros and cons of just a full nomad lifestyle, moving every month or so? Pro, you get to travel, meet new people, and see the world. Con, after a while, it gets lonely. You might not think it, but moving place to place and meeting all sorts of people, you don't really actually get time to have proper friends. And you left behind your old family, your old friends, and they continue their lives without you. Even if you go back, they'll have kept marching forward and without you there. So there's going to be some dissonance. You're going to have some stuff that you've missed, no matter how good your friends are back home, no matter how close you are with your family. And while you will make new friends in the nomad world, they will move on as well. They have their own paths and routes they're traveling, own journeys they're making. So it's hard to make any proper lasting bonds. And alongside this comes that your friends will always be new. That sort of situation where you meet someone and you get on great and they're friends with you, but you kind of have to put on airs to a degree. You kind of have to keep it so you're only showing the good side of yourself. Well, it's kind of hard to make friends where you can show the good and the bad when you have such short time frames that you're living in each place. And I came with my family, and so I didn't run into these issues. I can always be with my family for holidays. They're around. I don't have to go back to the States if I wanted to spend a holiday with my family, and I'm not missing out, so I don't have that same dissonance. But I can absolutely say the longer you stay in one place, the more comfortable it gets, and the more nomadic you are, the harder it is to keep those long friendships. And I don't want to understate how big of a pro that first pro is. Being able to travel the world, especially in a short time frame, is awesome. You get to see so many things, experience so much. But we do have another con to go over. Changing homes all the time means living out of a suitcase, packing and unpacking all the time. It makes it difficult to build a proper routine and to feel settled, and it'll cut into your productivity. If after every time you move, you have to reorganize yourself and get prepared to get some work done, it does limit things. Now for some, having a home base like we do here is the solution. You can travel for a couple months, go back to your home base, get some work done. Get more work done than you would have while you're traveling. And this is perfect for a semi-retirement situation. It allows you to still work to make some money to supplement your retirement, and you still live your dream adventure. Now, of course, the traveling and all the change can actually just become part of the routine. And in a way, this can be the thing that anchors you to make you feel stable. But it is something worth noting that it does certainly limit things at times. Continuing on that idea of cutting into your time, cutting into your productivity, when you're traveling and changing homes all the time, it means that you have to plan the travel. I mean, it's really straightforward to say, but ultimately it can't be understated. You have to get all the research done on figuring out where you're going to move to, where you're willing to move to, and where in each city that you're traveling to is the best place for you to stay. Then you have to plan out your flights, and all this travel is no small task. Part of this is finding a safe location, somewhere the locals will treat you well. And at the same time, you probably want to be close to where all the other digital nomads are. Because at the very least, you know that there's other people that understand your situation, and you can hopefully make some fast friends for the duration of your each visit. In a way, actually, this digital nomad part is what makes it easier, because there is only going to be so many spots that are good for a digital nomad, because that's where they just congregate in a given city. So you'll probably stick to those areas. And it can be expensive to do short-term stays, getting all these flights, making sure you have access to the quality internet you need in each Airbnb, in each place that you're staying. So maybe a longer stay is more cost-effective for a digital nomad adventure. Depending on your monetary situation, these things all come into play. Last thing to consider, when you're always out in a new location with no family, it's a bit hard to have a safety net. What do you do when something goes wrong? If something gets stolen, you lose your computer, your phone, the things that you need to work with. It can be difficult. And maybe you have a good community of trusted friends with digital nomads, and maybe they're not in town with you, but a friend of a friend is, and they can help support you in those difficult moments. But it is something to absolutely consider, as ultimately you are going to be the one that has to catch yourself, because there's always a chance there will be no one to catch you for your trust fall. Lastly, again, following up on that, you have to make sure you're always ready and you understand the situation on doctors and hospitals. Especially if you take medication, you need to know how to get your medications wherever you're traveling, how to make sure you have a good supply of medications in case that's an issue, and where to go in an emergency. All that said, it's a grand adventure no matter how you go about it. Whether you go slower, you make a home base, or you try and visit as many places as fast as possible and just have a grand 2 years before you go back to living in your home country. It'll be fun. Até a próxima.
Keep in mind, it can be expensive. Both financial and time commitments need to be made. Research and planning for each leg of the journey takes time. Plan for the following: travel costs, visa costs, health insurance costs, taxes, meetups, eating out. Is not free. If building your own business, it takes a while to build this and must be done in advance. This can be a heavy time commitment. It'll all be worth it. It'll be fun. Até a próxima. Our Moving Abroad program is coming soon, pulling all the information you need to know into one location for you to refer back to at any time you want. We work through the managing expenses, expectations, life coaching, choosing your new country, and more. Our programs, Patreon, and affiliates are how we support this channel. Links are located in the description of our videos, as well as on our website and Patreon. We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. Your financial support is truly appreciated, allowing us to create new content. We hope you continue to come along with us on our new adventure. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to help us grow. The next stage in your life is a journey.